I did it. I relaunched the shop. My Etsy shop is back open. Yeah! That sounds really sarcastic. I am genuinely happy about that. It's broken me a little bit. I am very tired. So just to give you a bit of backstory in case you're watching in the future, I reopened my Etsy shop last Thursday. It is now Monday, after having it on vacation mode for over a year thanks to the pandemic. It went really well, but I forgot a lot of things and I did some things wrong, and I thought it'd be kind of interesting to come on here and give you a warts and all account of how my launch went so that you can perhaps avoid some of the mess ups that I did. But also to give myself credit for the things that I did well, because I did do some things well. I just did some other things not so well, that's all. All right, let's just jump straight into the things that I got wrong. Number one, I broke my first rule and I did not give myself enough time. I thought I did, to be fair. I thought I did. I started off at a place in time, I forget where, and I had my launch date and I reverse engineered back to where I was in that vague space of time. But I forgot to take into consideration the fact that I was making weekly YouTube videos and there was also a school holiday in there somewhere as well. So I lost some time and it meant that I had to change my launch date, and also it just meant that I was rushing to get everything done at the end, which was a bit intense. So just make sure that you take everything into account that's going to take you away from your work, anything. That's what I didn't do. That was my first mistake. So the second thing that I did wrong, I try not to work evenings and weekends. I'm usually very strict about that. And I was not. I worked weekends and most evenings, and that's probably why I look the way I look today. Now this was one that I don't think I could have seen coming at all, but it's a good one, so I'm going to mention it. I wish I had batch cooked some meals in advance because we have a big old chest freezer, we have the room, and if I had thought I could have just made some like vegetable lasagnas and stuff like that. After a long day of working, knowing you've got more work to come, the last thing you want to do is cook. So next time I'm just going to try and batch cook some meals, freeze them, and then what I can do is just grab them out in the morning so that they're defrosted, and then I can just stick them in the oven in the evening, bish bash bosh, done. And this one, don't leave your photographs to the very last minute, forcing you to take them on a gloomy wet day. That's exactly what I had to do. And yes, I do remember how many times I have gotten on here and gone, photographs are the most important thing. You must make sure your photographs are very, very good. And I haven't done that. That was frustrating. That day, taking the photographs, knowing that they weren't my best and knowing I wasn't doing the bags justice was frustrating. But I'd left it to the last minute and that was my last day to take pictures, so I just had to do it. But yes, top tip for myself next time, leave enough time so that you can be more picky about your photography days. And another one that was kind of a bit of a clanger for me was that I didn't check the size of my packaging envelopes against the requirements, the size requirements for postage. Bit of a schoolboy error there. So these are the mailers that I went with. I was really proud of them. I am really proud of them because they are eco mailers, and ooh, I'm looking for this. This was my test bag. Huh. Anyway, instead of the plastic bubble wrap type stuff you have in there, this has kind of like a cardboard honeycomb stuff inside. So it has the protection of a normal mailer jiffy bag type thing, but it's recyclable, or you could rip it apart and put it on a compost heap if you have one. So I like these, but so big, and the post lady had to fold it like that. So to the people who ordered from me, I am really sorry. You're going to get your mailers stuck like that, which doesn't look pretty, and yeah, I wasn't best pleased. But in order for it to get through the postage requirements, it needs to be a bit smaller. And technically speaking, that lady should have charged me more, but she didn't. So what a legend. I have ordered quite a few of them, however. I mean, just one or two. So yes, I'm probably going to have to buy some gum tape now so that I can fold down the sides to make sure that I can still send them out and use them, because I'm not wasting those and I want to keep postage costs as low as possible. So yeah, that was a mistake. Do your homework, Kim. And the other thing, I wasn't sure whether or not to include this one, and that was just the launch time. Slap bang in the middle of the quietest time of the year is not a great time to launch anything. However, I was desperate to get my shop reopened, and so I think for this particular launch it was the perfect time. I probably wouldn't launch anything at the start of July, but yeah, needs must. So was that a mistake? Meh. Depends on how you're looking at it. Okay, so let's balance that out with some things that I got right. On launch day, I was ready. Everything had been done. So I just felt ready. And so all I had to do on the day, it was just watch, which was probably problematic in itself because I was a nervous wreck. But that's probably going to be the case anyway. So I'm just going to take that as a win. I was ready. And in the lead up to the launch, I fought through those feelings of thinking that I was spamming people or shouting too much about these bags, and I showed up. And that's not something I usually do, so I'm going to give myself credit for that. I was consistent and I showed up and I made sure people knew what was happening and when it was happening and where they could go if they wanted to see the shop. And for those of you that did, thank you very much. And lastly, the thing I got right was after the launch, I took some time off. And I'm so glad I did, because it's Monday and I'm still a little bit tired. So God knows how I would have felt if I just carried on as normal. I haven't shown you the bags. Okay, I can't show you one design because they sold out. There you go, that's one thing I got right. That one is my little meadow design. This, well, it's my sunflower design, obviously. And this one is my moon. This one is my favourite one. This is the one that I was making in the previous video, my first studio vlog on getting the shop prepped. So that was my summer collection, and yeah, it did really well actually, considering I've been away for what feels like a lifetime. I'm really, really happy with how it went. I've got one last tip for you actually, and regardless of where you are in your shop journey, launch, whatever, this should be quite useful for you as well. And that's keeping an eye on the search terms that bring people to my shop. So the first day, the search terms were pretty much the eco tree shop. People just coming in, they knew my name and they were just trying to find me on Etsy. But already I have 2 search terms that have got my attention, and both of them relate to pencil cases. Now, as I showed you, they look like that, and I think the thumbnails have makeup brushes with them. So now I know if people are finding my bags by using the search term pencil case, then it might be an idea to take photographs with pencils or other stationery. And let's be honest, I need to take the photographs again anyway. But that's my tip to you, regardless of how long your items have been up for. Keep an eye on the search terms that visitors use to find your shop, because if you see any patterns in there, that might help you not just figure out what other items to make or what themes or colours to use, but how you can take photographs to grab their attention. So somebody coming to my shop looking for a pencil case, they might look for a pencil case and then think, makeup bag. Bye-bye. And I've got that information from Etsy just after a few days. So I'm going to keep an eye on that and see if any more patterns crop up that will help me figure out how to sell my items or what items to make for my autumn and winter collection. But I'm not going to think about that yet because I just finished this one. But as I mentioned earlier, it is a quiet time of year and it's normal. So I'm really, really happy with how things went. If you're finding that it's quiet for you at the moment as well, then give this video a watch. I hope it's here. If it's not, it will be there, but I think it will be there. Let's go with there. It will give you some tips as to what you can do now, maybe to get some sales or at least get yourself ready for the busy holiday season coming, because it will be, I'm sure. Give it a watch and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.